Alright, Shalom. First and foremost, I'm going to give all praises and glory and honor that's due to Yahweh, Ba'ashim Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashim Rakakodash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone. Peace and blessings and salutations to the hopeful elect. Those in this gospel broad live on the standard. I'll Yahweh Ba'ashim Yahweh Shai, whatever it may be. Real quick, this is just in transit. Didn't have anything really to talk about. Just a couple of topics that came across my mind. A couple of topics, man, regarding the MOTB. As one of the elder brothers brought out a lesson yesterday about the credit-based system being the start of the MOT. Then at the start of that digital infrastructure, which is known as the MOTB, and the credit-based system, which you're seeing everything that's happening around you to supply chains and all these things are being disrupted. It's pretty much the start of this system, this New World Order system. Like a video popped up on my feed from Dabu 7 going into the whole, what do you call it, the Georgia Guidestones. Allegedly it was blown up or something happened, or I believe they tore it down or something like that. But allegedly it was destroyed, which we know the Georgia Guidestones are basically the commandments of the elites on the left-hand side to start their NWO, okay? So with that being said, man, we're living in a time of great times, prophecies, man, okay? Because, hey, the scriptures say in Sirach, I believe it's 39 or 38 and 1, when it goes into basically a wise man will be occupied in prophecies, okay? And we're focused on prophecy because it's really a desperate attempt on the Lord to come really deliver us and to get us out of this hellhole, man. That's why a lot of brothers, you know, we're hastening in the day. We're hastening for our salvation, okay? Because shit, you know, hey, we've been here a long time, man, and we've been catching nothing but hell under this devil, man, okay? Under this unjust system. Because this society is very unjust, mainly to the Israelites, which is the so-called Negro, Hispanic, and Native American. You see, so we're hastening the day of Yahweh Ba'ashim Yahweh Shai because we ready to get out of trouble, man, okay? Everywhere you turn is always some type of block or roadblock or something that's knocking you 30 steps back, just from the simplest things, man, you know, things that's not even intentionally done. And it's called the curses because, hey, the root, it tells you that we were yet in captivity this day to be subjected to payment. So just that alone, an average so-called American is a debt slave, okay? And this is why that whole credit-based system would be a perfect infrastructure to just oppress people, because when you owe a debt or whatever you want to call it, a lot of times they can't collect unless it's one of those secured debts that they can garnish your wages. But other than that, man, if it's unsecured, they just put it on your credit report and then bam, you know, they catch you when they catch you, and you know, it hits you in the future because you can't buy nothing. But with this new base system, you're going off a social credit score, okay? Basically, depending on your citizenship or how you navigate in the world would determine on how they deal with you, man. So like in China, if you are at odds with the government structure, or if you have a unsatisfactory character, what will happen is that they will lower your social credit score to the point that even if you have a job, you can't drive a car, you can't own a license, you can't own a car, you can't get on a train or public transportation due to your social credit score, which is totally slavery, man. That's totally a wicked act, man. That's oppression, because your whole livelihood is in jeopardy because you ain't play ball with the elites, man. And that's total slavery. And guess who's behind it? Esau, Edom. Okay? Well, they may say, well, it's Moabites, Chinese, but who do Moab take his orders from? He take it from Esau, Edom. You know? Come on, get over, bro. He take it from Esau, Edom. So the whole communist society over there in China, you know, communism, whatever you want to call it, hey, dictatorships, fucking democracy, it's all the freaking same thing, because we're not under a democracy here. America, to be honest with you, is nothing but an unrighteous dictatorship. Okay, they hide it under democracy because the people have the illusion of freedom to do what they want to do. But this ain't no damn democracy, man, because if this was a democracy, people would be more at peace. People would be more as far as on one accord, and they're not. This system is totally divided by chaos, by certain decisions and choices. Like you had this whole Roe v. Wade thing, okay? country is divided off that alone, because you got women that feel that it's in their right to kill something inside them, and then you got the other half that's saying, well, nah, that's not cool, that's murder, okay? But you have the opposing sides of it, you see? So democracy means people's rule, but the people don't rule here. Because if the people rule, there wouldn't be an IRS, there wouldn't be a Title 4D, there wouldn't be, you know what I'm saying, there wouldn't be unlawful taxes, etc. There won't be oppression, there wouldn't be involuntary servitude, all those things, you know? So it's a lie, man. This is nothing but oppression, okay? And this is why Yahweh Shai is bringing down this kingdom, okay? Because, I mean, look at what's happening. They're talking about gas shortages within the next couple of months. Allegedly, July 15th, supposed to be when another what hit back in 2020. They said allegedly a new such and such supposed to hit. Now we'll see, okay? Because there was a video that was circulating around. There was this Edomite guy. I don't know if he was a pastor, a preacher. I don't know if he was a government official, but he had a translator translating the things he was stating, and he was bringing out some very vital information. So Lord's will, when I get a chance today, I'm going to do a lesson on it. Because, hey, if that be true, then they're talking about more troops being deployed to Ukraine, which I believe 300,000 of NATO troops have already been deployed or already in the talks of being deployed, you see. And then Russia pretty much, I mean, you know, they say Russia was losing. No, Russia wasn't losing that war. That's why NATO had to come in and deploy those troops, because Russia was basically getting in their ass, man. Because these are Russians we're talking about. These are trained, these are hardcore men, okay? And they say that the Ukrainian trained troops was NATO's finest, and they was having a problem with Russia. So that tells you right there the type of hell that's coming to you people, okay? And they're talking about July the 15th, another pandemic, whatever you want to call it, talking about being the lockdown of the UK. They're gonna lock it down, but we don't know yet. We gonna see. But Lord's will that be the case, man, because now shit, they can do what they want to do, okay? Like right now we had these shootings. This guy by the name of Jalen Walker was shot at 100 times, but 60 bullets hit him. I think 90 to 100 times, but yet he got hit with 60 bullets, a total overkill. But then again, you had 2 days ago, the 4th of July celebration out there in Highland, Illinois, 20 minutes outside of Chicago. You had this Edomite guy that put down 7 people. You see what I'm saying? He was apprehended alive, which I believe that was also a cover-up from the Jalen Walker shooting, because they don't want that attention on that. But yet you got Black Lives or BLM that's protesting, that's going around city to city, destroying shit as usual, which we call them Soros riots. You know, but there's a lot of things that's happening, man, in the world, because these people on edge. All hell is getting ready to break loose. Unemployment is at an all-time high, though they are advertising that people are hiring. Regardless of that, ain't nobody trying to work, man, okay? Because, I mean, shit, the money, people are in debt, okay? It's crazy, man. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, people are on edge. They're getting ready to lose it, you know? So, hey, all these things were prophesied in the scriptures. And the men of the Lord, hey, we've been speaking on these things since the beginning. Since the time of the garden, we've been speaking on these sad endeavors, okay? So now they're coming to pass. So this is the book of Zephaniah 3:1. Brother Naquam, it says here, woe to her that is filthy and polluted, to the oppressing city. Come, brother. The oppressing city is Babylon the Great. And in that case, I believe they was probably going into Nimrod, okay? But even if you look up Nimrod, Nimrod is basically spiritually America, okay? Because Nimrod was known as I believe Maktesh was known as a merchant city, okay? That dealt with merchants, that dealt with stocks and trades and so forth. Basically Wall Street, which the first concept of slavery was started on Wall Street, you know, where they go down and bid on the auction blocks. That's where they served the first bulk of slaves at, man. Okay, so the whole stock market is based on the back of Negroes, slavery. Okay, so the scriptures call this the oppressive city, because it is. You got to get up and work a 9 to 5 every single day. No benefit to it. They give you a bunch of greenbacks that don't mean anything. But yet, people's mindset are encapsulated by the illusion of wealth and freedom, which we're not dealing with wealth. This is why the average so-called American is in debt, because the US dollar is a debt note. Okay, like the average birth, it costs $10,000 to $15,000 in order to birth a child. Okay, having a baby in this world is not free, but yet it costs less than 600 something bucks if that to abort it. That shows you here that this is an oppressing city, man. It's not profitable. Okay, and it's a debt. This is a debt society. They said every U.S. citizen, or everybody that's born into America, is in over $100,000 in debt. Okay, because the elites, you're indebted to them. Why? Because A, they created the Fed and they borrow money from the Fed at an interest rate, and you got to pay it back. And this is the reason why you have reoccurring bills every month. Okay, because in the ancient world, you look at Jacob, and you look at our forefathers, Judah, we had particular substance. We had wells, we had streams, we had rivers, we had land, we had livestock, we had cattle. You know, we had farms, we had those particular things that you work for a certain period of time, you can pay it off and it becomes yours and you can make the money off of it. But now you're attached to what they call a grid. Okay, and by you being attached to a grid, now you're subject to payments. You're subjected to being unbondaged to the elites. Why? Because A, the dollar is not strong enough to pay off anything, man. This is why you have a mortgage payment. 30 years you pay off a house, but then you still owe taxes on it, man. You see? So it's like a pinwheel syndrome. It's like a rat race, constantly trying to make it to the finish line, and nobody's going to finish. This is why eventually people are going to rise up against the system. And in my personal opinion, I'm surprised they haven't done it already. Because, I mean, like I said, man, people are underpaid, they're overworked, okay, they're overtaxed. You know, they're getting hit with these charges of falsehood. You know, just the Title 40 alone, that women is able to extract money from men against their will, that should have been enough to overthrow this system. But hey, like I said, these Americans are docile, man. This is why they got chemicals in your food, because the chemicals in your food is causing you to be slow bellies, man. You can't seem to understand or grasp the concept that you are nothing but a slave, you know. And us as men of the Lord, hey, we're tired of being in slavery. I'm tired of serving this shit, man. I'm tired of being in debt to this system, you know, for just trying to make an honest living, trying to go to work every single day, pay your bills. Things are so high, you know, insurance is so goddamn high nowadays. It's like, you know, you get caught up in the misfortune, then you end up paying with your life, you know, and that's not how we're supposed to live. You know what I'm saying? It's not how we're supposed to live at all. You know, to the point that you're working every single day, and yet they're taking money from you out of your check, and you can barely afford to live. So this system forces you into poverty, man. Okay, and that shit getting old. All right, brothers, type a couple of precepts here. Ezekiel 7:5, it says, "Thus says Yahweh, thy power, and evil and only evil, behold, is come. The end is come, and it waited for thee. Behold, it is come." That's right, the end of this man's kingdom. And Esau knows that he's on his way out of here. Okay, like brothers been uploading videos of chariot sightings. You know, I was watching a video yesterday, and basically the Edomite dude from the army, he said it was to the point we've been seeing so-called UFOs every single day for the X amount of years. It's to the point that it's like we can't avoid them. You know, whether it be the Navy, the military, or the what do you call it, the Air Force, they're always in scenes or unisons with the chariots, because they're seeing it all the time, which is causing them to lose sleep. Because he broke it down, he said, well, look, man, these chariots are able to navigate in the sky, and they're able to navigate on the water. And it makes a lot of sense, okay? Because these things that you call UFO, or unidentified area phenomenon, which is basically another way of saying the chariots of the Most High, or the chariots of Israel, these things defy gravity, and they're popping up more and more and more. And Esau, he's hurt, because it's nothing he can do to stop that. It's nothing he can do that can put that down, you know? So going down here, verses 2 Maccabees 1:28, it says, "Punish them that oppress us, and with pride do us wrong." Man, brother, beautiful precept. Okay, at that time, who was oppressing Israelites? The Greeks, because we was under the rule of Antiochus, which was broken into 4 kingdoms under the Seleucid dynasty, which was part of one of Alexander's 4th generals, man. Because when Alexander died, his kingdom separated into the 4 empires, which were the 4 generals of his kingdom. Okay, and they had a lot of civil wars, a lot of infighting of who was going to reign supreme over Alexander's dominion. Okay, but under the Seleucid dynasty come the Hellenization of the Jews, okay, in that part of the world. Okay, Greece, or Gracia as you want to call parts of the land. It was to the point that Paul had to go to Asia Minor to teach the other Israelites, because they were Hellenized, man. Okay, but yet they was oppressing us, because what happened? They set up laws and they sent counselors to our cities that we must lead the laws of our commandments of the Most High, and we got to be in servitude to the heathen. And if we didn't obey, they will ultimately put us to death. Okay, but you had a lot of Israelites that didn't agree with it, to the point they were being hung, the kids were being put to death, to the point that started what they call the Maccabean revolt. Okay, because we rather to serve Yahweh Bashim Yahushai before we serve these Edomites, man. And it's coming back to that again because, hey, the Most High is going to raise up the Israelites to take down you Edomites, man, in these latter times, because